Welcome back for another video tutorial brought to you by GraphicDesignerTips.com. My name is Steve, and today what we're going to be speaking about is how to design a professional looking flyer for any kind of business. But in this case, if you're looking at the screen, this is a flyer I designed for a client of mine, and this is for a dentist's office, and they're going out and they're trying to sell their new bleaching program. So keep that in mind as you're looking at the concept of this flyer here. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to shift this over to the left, and I'm going to start rebuilding this on the right so you can kind of see the techniques. I am going to be copy and pasting elements, but for the most part I'm going to be recreating them as much as I can from scratch, so you can really see how everything is being done over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to Object, go to Crop Area Make. I'm going to go to Object, Crop Area again, and Release, and that's going to give me the exact size of the document I was working with, which was 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to stroke that. All right, let's see, I have that over here ready. Let's get rid of that. And if you guys are watching this video and it's really small, I publish them in HD, so you can click on this little this 2 arrows on the bottom right of the video, I believe, and it's going to expand full screen so you can see everything that's going on. I'll do my best to zoom in on areas also that I want to emphasize. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building some of the text in here. So obviously in this case I am going to go to my text tool, and I'm going to go to your makeover is complete. All right, make this just a little bit bigger. I'm going to copy that using Option click Shift, and only when you're... I gotta get this video done in 15 minutes or less, so this stuff normally does not take 15 minutes. It takes a lot of planning. We go through many revisions. Most of my clients don't even see because they're just ideas that I put together that I've been going on and off of, and what I send to my client is it could be the third version of what I was trying to do. So all right, now this box in here, I'm going to make another text box. I'm going to come over here to my text edit, grab that text, just kind of throw it in there. Why put it off any longer? All right. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna pull these over just because of the time that I need on this. So, all right. We'll come back to that later. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a rectangle, and I'm going to keep this within here. Later on I'll add the bleed. That's at the end of the project. And I'm going to, I can either, obviously, in this, since I have this done already, I can come over to the eyedropper or sample this. And you're going to see that I created a gradient. Let me open up my window gradient. All right, let's throw it in there. And my gradient is from that light blue to the white, so I'm going to redo this gradient so from the top to the bottom it's that blue. And I'm going to make it so it's nice and light. Alright, that's not going to work like that. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to send that to the back. Alright, and what happens is, it's because I created this thing in the background. There it is. I took the white out, so now your color blue is in the background, and we're going to what do we use on this? Times New Roman. We're going to set these to Times New Roman. We're gonna OK that, and I believe I did on here. I bolded these, and I'm going to make this white. I'm going to move that up, and I'm going to offset only when you were smiling. Now this blue is, I wanted to obviously keep if the tagline smile sparkles. I like the colors. They're more inviting. They're kind of like toothpaste colors, and they're happy colors. So that's why I decided to stay with the dark and light blues. Let's come over here real quick, and we're going to change that to bold italic. and we're going to sample. We're actually going to color this in right here, only when you are smiling. So that's what the top looks like. We're going to make this a little bit bigger. I ended up changing those on the eye and on the two eyes and the word smiling. What I would do is I'm going to create outlines on that by going to type and create outlines. When it's selected, I just did a keyboard shortcut, and I'm going to take the direct selection, very important. I'm going to click on these two babies right here. I'm going to delete, and I'm going to delete. Now I'm going to come up to the shape on the left, and I'm going to use the star tool to make these little stars instead of these little dots. It'll look a lot nicer than those dots. All right. Okay, cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is, after I made this clipping mask of this woman, I'm going to really just drag her in the layout. And I'm going to show you how she's built in a minute. So the next thing I'm going to do is let's take this text box over here, and we're going to make this a little bit smaller because you don't want to fill every space up in your document, but you want everything to be spaced out nice and neat, and you want some kind of a creative flow. So if we go back a second to where this woman was on the left, if you watch my mouse, the whole piece is really going like this, and you're not going boom, 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 left, right, and going a little bit crazy. You know, trying to read so much information. It's organized in a way that it is readable, and it flows around the image of the woman while the whole time you're reading about this and reading reading these things down here, you still see this dominant image of this woman. Remember, this is an 8.5:11 flyer, so she takes up most of it, and she has a beautiful white smile, and that's what the whole marketing hook is. It's to get people in, to make their smiles better, to give them more confidence. So the next thing I'm going to do is, actually, let me leave her there for a second. I'm going to build these blocks in the background, and I'm just going to drag that over. But you can create that using the rectangle tool just like the top one, but I don't want to go through that right now. Same thing with this red here. We're going to pull this back. Now the reason I put this red bar here is because it creates two things. Because it creates depth in the piece, because now the woman really does look like she is standing in front of something, so it creates that depth right there, even though I use a subtle drop shadow. And the second thing it does, it breaks up an area where I can put a line of copy or like a call to action or something. So, which is what I ended up doing here. So it says, just ask your salon for a special discount coupon to get started. So if I didn't have this bar here and I really wanted to emphasize that just ask your salon, I probably would have to make this another color, and it's just the way I like to break up things. I use a lot of these bars behind images sometimes, clipped out images, because she is clipped out. There is no background around her, and I do that just to create this kind of effect, and it definitely works because as you can see on screen, and obviously when these were printed, they look beautiful. I'm not tooting my own horn. This is just stuff that I've learned from other artists over the years. So, and along with that, by ripping things out of magazines constantly and just seeing what other professionals are doing, that's how I've also learned a lot. So make that a habit wherever you are. Obviously, if you haven't paid for the magazine, don't rip anything out. Pay for it first, then rip it out. That's not very nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to copy this over here, like so. And I have this red gradient in here. If you don't know how to make gradients, I have another video on that. I'm not going to talk about it right now. And to separate these, I separated these with this white line because I like clashing colors to be separated by something. Because if you have that red and then the blue right next to it, it kind of clashes and it looks kind of boring and messy. So this brings a little bit more life to this. Obviously, you know how to work with type, so we're just going to pull this guy over, and instead of doing that, I'm just going to pull. I'm going to show you what this element really is made up of over here. I'm going to, because I'm running about 10 minutes right now, so, and I really don't feel like cutting this up into 2 videos. So I'm going to pull this over here by selecting all these elements. If you're wondering why all these other elements aren't selecting sometimes, it's because I select them, the ones I don't want to be messing with, and I go to Command or Control 2 on your PC, and or you can go to Object and Lock. So, or Lock Selection, excuse me. So I can't select those anymore. Learn how to do these keyboard commands. Keep your left hand on the keyboard at all times. Keep your thumb by the control or the command, and you'll be able to learn all these keyboard commands and fly through things and make constantly new ideas by being able to copy things quickly and such. So let me copy these all over here real quick, and I'm going to kind of show you what these are made up of. Bring that to the front. Why did that? I must have just did something there. What did I do there? Well, I didn't copy that white box over for sure. So I'm going to pull that over here, and I'm going to send this. The heck? Well, let me diagnose this real quick. What is? Oh, I'm on a different layer. Shit. All right. I don't have time to show you about layers right now, but that's kind of what was going on. I realized I created new layers. So actually, to tell you the truth, a lot of times lately I've been designing. I've been creating one layer and just kind of putting everything on that, because when you know how to send things quickly to the front and the back, you know, use layers. Don't listen to me. This is just, you know, what I do now. It makes me fly through things a lot quicker, and but I still do use layers. Let me show you what's going on with this real quick. This is a text box, which I love adding. I love the effect of adding a lot of leading on my boxes, because obviously if there's no leading on this, all right, see what happens. It's this big block of type, and you have this whole space that you can fill. Not that you need to fill every space, but you got to keep these areas from having any big blank spaces in them. So just because it's going to keep the viewer going into the next element. So in this case, I kerned out the I leaded out the type. That's leading. That's another tutorial about typography that I'm going to be doing soon. If I've done it already, hopefully you've seen it and you've liked it. I haven't done it yet, so I hope I'm going to like it when I do it. Anyway, these stars right here were just stars I kind of just put in here and turned in different directions and such. And this last element is the element of this woman. So this woman was a photo that I clipped out well, I cropped them as much as I could around her in Photoshop, and then I did a clipping mask around here in Illustrator, and then did a separate, took that same clipping mask and made a separate shadow behind it, because I only wanted the shadow to go from the neck down. I didn't want it coming out from her face, and just to visually show you what I just meant by that confusing thing I just said. If I pull this out here, that's not it. Hold on. All right. Is that it? Oh, the shadow. The shadow is on that. But if you look at the points, how they don't go to the edge of her hair or the edge of her face, that was making it so my shadow wouldn't go over her face, because I wanted to be from the neckline and down. So the last thing I would have done on this, actually besides adding the bottom, because I got about a minute left, let's copy this baby over. And these are obviously all elements. They are lined up, and I'm going to do another tutorial about alignment, because alignment isn't all about selecting all these and just hitting this horizontal line. That is wrong, because there are a lot of elements that don't line up perfectly, and that's for another time. That's it, guys. Here's to breaking down this advertisement. Any questions, comments? I'm not going to leave these templates up there for anybody to download, unfortunately, if that's what you were thinking. But you can get some ideas from this. Make your own advertisements up. Just play around. Even if you don't have a client who does this, try copying it anyway, just to get the techniques down. So this is Graphic Designer Tips. Again, my name is Steve Looney. Go to our website to view videos and all types of goodies. So have a good night. Peace.